Welcome to Caliente Topics, our daily tax webcast. I'm your host, Veronica Russell, along with Patrick Russell, EA from mmtaxman.com. Pass it to you, Patrick.
Oh, thank you very much, guys. Welcome back to our conversation about tax topics. This webcast is specifically designed to have an ongoing conversation about some of the more pressing tax issues that we're always dealing with on clients on a daily basis. But now we have an opportunity to pass along our spiel to them, to you, for free. And so today we're just going to continue on our conversation about what to do when you receive an IRS love letter. So last webcast, if you remember, we're taking things real step by step and be methodical. And the reason why is because we're trying to create a peace of mind as we go along. The first webcast was all about you have time. This webcast is more about, okay, so what do I need to do before I even see Pat or before I submit anything in response to the IRS notice? Now, if we are talking about a general audit, in most cases now the IRS doesn't have all day to audit the entire tax return, which is what they used to do when I first got into the game. They would want an entire day spent at the IRS office going through each line item and all of your receipts for each line item. They don't have the time to do that anymore, so now they spot check 2 to 3 different items. And so depending on the items that they choose on for your audit, it'll be listed on your audit notice. And then of course you're going to be gathering the information and documentation specifically for those items. But now, here's the general notation we have to explain to all of our clients. Bank statements. First and foremost, they're going to be requested. But now it's the idea of why are they asking for the bank statements even in circumstances where the audit really isn't asking about income, isn't asking about sales. Maybe I don't have those. Deposit. So if the 2 or 3 items in question really don't have anything to do with deposits, well, why are they looking for our bank statements? And the answer, deposit reconciliation. In all audit cases, the auditor is mandated to look for hidden deposits, right? I mean, you get what I'm going at with this. They're looking for hidden income because that's a low-hanging fruit case for the agent. Because right off the bat, as soon as he adds up all of your deposits from each month, from each of your bank accounts, right now that'll produce a pretty big sum number. He's looking or she's looking to see if that total number matches or is closely related to the documented or the reported income on your tax return. It's when there's a big difference between the two that the tap dancing begins. Yeah. And so when it comes to your documentation and records, you have to start off with the bank statements. And I'm not just talking about your personal bank statements. You have to understand that the IRS auditor, should they choose to use it, have what they call bench warrant authority, which is just a fancy way of saying, hey, I can pick up a phone and get those transcripts from every bank I know you have because we have a central database plus your credit report I can check. So if you make me find them, I can find them. And if you make me subpoena them, I will subpoena them. So if you want this IRS exam to go smoothly, first base is producing all of your bank statements. And now a quick word to go along with, well, what's all of my bank statements? All right, Pat, I kind of understand that you're talking about me with my name on it. Maybe I opened up those bank accounts with my social security number. But what about my businesses? Yes, those too. To include sole proprietorships, your LLCs, even LLCs where you may only have a partial ownership. But if that ownership is a close ownership, and I say it that way because it's confused with a lot of other terms, but there is a tax legal term called close ownership, and it just describes the idea that the owners could either be the same person or related parties to the point where they have potential control of the bank account. Once that's determined by the agent, you can forget about all that legal protection mumbo jumbo. They're going to launch a new audit at the same time directed at that LLC or that corporation.
Just to make it clear as well, if you are legally married and you file taxes married filing joint, that will be your bank statements and then your spouse bank statements.
Absolutely.
Both together.
So if you are married filing separate, and that's the tax return where, yes, I am declaring that I'm married, but you don't see my spouse's name or social on that, then you're in a situation where you would only be using your bank statement. I mean, that was the reason why she filed marriage filing separate in the first place, is to get away from your clouded mess, right? And that's the real legit reason why most people would file married filing separately the right way, is because there's either a legal ramification you're trying to run away from, a debt you're trying to run away from, and so even if it means sacrificing some of the refund or getting a higher tax bill, splitting your assets and your financial instruments, including your tax return in the middle, sometimes makes sense, right? And that would be the reason why, is because this guy likes to play fast and loose with the IRS. You're like, hey, you're on your own there, buddy, and right now. Yeah. But married filing jointly, not the same thing. And with that same spouse, once again, should you be sharing a business and also purse strings, and it's discovered, you best believe that they're going to be launching simultaneously audits on the other close ownership parties. Why? Because they understand that you can bounce things around bank accounts, right? And make it seem like your tax return is a reflection of really happened. But if you opened up door number 2, the S-Corp's bank account, maybe those transactions now, because there are transfers, because there's related transactions, because there's payments for bills that shouldn't be there. Once those things are discovered, and they happen quite a bit, unfortunately, right? All you big LLC guys that want to do your home office deductions, want to go to Costco, want to go to, Walmart for all of your office supplies. This is where the problem begins. Because on the surface, you can make your 2 tax returns look great, but those are only curtains to a window. And once the IRS wants to look through the window, those bank statements tell everything that they need to know, which is why you have to understand, when I'm talking bank statements in an audit, all of your bank statements, to include if you have businesses in a close ownership group, you better grab them too.
And this is something that probably someone that doesn't have any experience with representation of clients wouldn't tell you. And if you get the letter from the IRS, you're gonna be like, "What the heck? I don't see any bank statements here that the IRS is requesting." Obviously, this is what we do our webcast, just to give you a little bit more deeper information on the IRS, what they need, and obviously moving forward, what we are dealing with, right?
Or just keep tuning in, subscribe to the channel, bring your questions or your comments to the comment box. This is your chance to pick the brains of tax specialists that have been in this game for over 3 decades. I'm going to find different ways to say that, but it's true, so I'm going to use it. Now, follow us. Yeah. You don't want to pay us? Fine. You don't want to go to a high-powered tax attorney? Fine. Follow us, because I'm going to tell you everything you need to know.
We do have the answers for you guys, deeper than just reading a simple letter. I've been doing taxes for about 12 years already, and I've seen all. And this is what we want to do for you guys: give you free advice, and making sure that you guys, making sure that you guys understand what the deep letter says behind that. Just not, going with someone that is going to tell you what you want to hear, but actually what it is. So please subscribe. Patrick, myself, we'll see you tomorrow with another follow-up on the IRS letters.
Thank you guys. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.